OnlyFans Twitter Guide. How to set up accounts, how to get attention, and how to convert people to your OnlyFans. Let's talk about it. Also, make sure to join my personal Telegram channel down below. So Twitter as a traffic method is probably the worst and hardest thing to start if you don't already have traffic. But it is amazing and turns into a money printer if you do. So the algorithm works in a way where if you don't have any followers, you aren't promoted. Because you can grow TikTok profiles from zero, even Instagram, Reddit, etc. And Twitter is one of the methods that is extremely hard to grow unless you have existing traffic you can funnel to your Twitter profile. That being said, it isn't impossible. But I wouldn't recommend to grow it as a first method because Twitter is a great tool to use for exponential growth. So when you have other proven methods of traffic, utilizing Twitter allows you to easily multiply your traffic. So the return on investment is much greater when you send traffic to your Twitter instead of starting from scratch. So Twitter should be used for the long term and expanding your brand. It shouldn't be used as the first way of getting traffic. Now, the setup. I won't spend more than a minute on the setup because it isn't complicated. Just create the account like a normal user would. So a lot of people ask if you should buy aged accounts. I personally never saw the need to buy them. I always believe it's just better to create an account on a designated phone because I really like to keep it simple, just as a normal user would. So I don't believe there's any special method to setting up an account. Just create the account by email and link a phone number to the account, and that's the whole account setup. Now let's get into the main part. Attention on Twitter. How do you get it? I am a big proponent of always building a brand for your model instead of trying methods of mass spamming. So following that principle, I also believe spamming on Twitter isn't a good idea. You can get traffic with it, but it takes much more time to run 100 spam accounts, and keep in mind it's a logistical nightmare to run that many accounts. So instead of that, I think it's better to have one or two very good accounts. It's easier, more efficient, and more beneficial in the long term. Getting attention on Twitter is always based around one thing, and that's utilizing trending topics. So how to get attention on Twitter? Every week there are new trending topics. Some last for 2 days, others last for 2 weeks. Our goal is to utilize those topics and comment on them to attract attention. And these topics can be anything from Trump getting shot, Diddy getting arrested, boxing fights, YouTube drama, politics, or just any drama in general that's trending. And so in every argument, there are always two sides, and your goal is always to take one side and defend it in a very stupid manner. Let me expand. So taking the worst possible reason on why your side is good or bad and then defending it. Because people love commenting and generally just correcting other people's mistakes. And you generally want to defend the side that has many potential OnlyFans buyers. So I like to think there are always two sides. The smart people and the cucks. Your goal is to defend the cucks and be on their side. So Chuck the cuck thinks it's okay to let other people fuck his wife while he watches and masturbates in the corner. Your goal is to defend his standpoint and be on his side. And so whenever there's a trending topic, and there are always trending topics on Twitter, you simply choose a side, preferably the controversial side where most of the cucks hang out, and you then defend their standpoint. And their thought process goes something like this. They want to know what other people think of this topic, so they go to the comments, right? They see a hot chick commenting on the topic, so they're immediately hooked about what you have to say. Then they read your comment, they realize you're saying the exact same thing they were thinking. Oh my god, she's so hot and she agrees with me. And this often doesn't have to be a well thought out message. It can be something ironic or funny that just hooks people into commenting and liking your standpoint. And so your goal becomes very simple. Find viral topics, common controversial, funny or relatable things that attract attention, and force people to argue with you or just in general respond to you. Now, the next thing is very important. Don't be too sexual, because sex sells itself. If you're a hot chick, you don't have to be sexual in order for men to want to sleep with you. You just have to exist. The same goes with Twitter comments. Your mere presence is enough. Just the fact that you're commenting on a post and they agree with you is more than enough for them to want to give you money. And if you already use Twitter yourself, you already know how this goes. Like almost every trending post or any trending topic already has hundreds of OnlyFans girls posting in the comments. And don't give away your OnlyFans for free. Way too many agencies just straight up spam their sex tapes on Twitter, like they post a 2-minute video of them giving a blowjob. A guy will masturbate to that and then he will close Twitter. That is not what you want. You want him to get hooked and sub to your OF, and not jerk off to you for free and forget about you 10 seconds later when post not clarity hits. So you now know how to get attention. Now let's talk about converting. So as mentioned previously, the mistake a lot of people make is being too sexual, and I also talk about this in my Instagram videos a lot. Don't be overly sexual, because sex sells itself. Your goal is to act like a real girl. So you just have to show a bit of personality and be attractive. That's all that's required for someone to fall in love with you. And then you make it easy for them to give you money by having a link to your OF. And I want to have Sophie Rain as an example here because I think her Twitter is a really great example of what to do. As you can see, just posting a simple, non-sexual picture attracts great amounts of attention if you do Twitter correctly. Simple picture, non-sexual, simple caption, and look at the replies. And also to expand a little bit on acting like a real girl. You can almost use Twitter like Instagram stories or posts. Just casually documenting your day or posting your activities and opinions. So the same for my Instagram videos. You act like a real girl throughout the day, and then at night time you can post a bit more of a horny pic and tell people directly like, hey, I'm horny, come to my OF. And now, remember, Twitter is a long-term game. You can funnel some traffic from Instagram, dating apps, you can post a simple story like, follow my Twitter, you'll get a couple hundred followers and you're ready to start posting. Utilize trending topics and attract attention. Use that attention to make people fall in love with you, and after they keep seeing you daily on their Twitter, they're gonna start to want to give you money. And I want you to keep in mind the Twitter you build now is always an asset in the future. Because let's say you sign a new model, you simply start retweeting her tweets and you can form an infinite spiral of traffic and going viral. Utilize Twitter and start building it today.